credits. And you had something to do with us getting it. It already played, but there's a moment where
Not yet.
Labama's.
It didn't play yet.
Oh, it played. It just played past mine. Not the credits, but like the
I
Marilag
see.
from Dianella.
Oh
If you look
yeah.
up, yeah, if you look up right now, Bobby actually requested for that song to be in the credits. So when you actually see it, we play out to the credits. So thank you
Oh,
for
that's so cool.
connecting and like a lot of people like they don't know just how much you believe in creatives on both sides. Can you tell us like a little bit like how that is like producing Sunchaser with us and like just having a hand in everything. Like I ask you so many questions all the time when we're like working on this, and you always have like a great answer, a great idea of like how to go about it. Like how's it feel to do all that?
Yeah. It's exciting and it's very fulfilling because like I discover something new about myself and about my culture every time like I'm tasked to work on a project that, involves both creatives and artists from both countries or continents.
Hmm.
Um, and
Hmm.
so it's like um with Sunchaser, for example, like I really like when I watched it, I probably read the script like 30 times
Hmm.
before I started casting because like I
Hmm.
wanted to like kind of picture all these different artists with each character and I was trying to look for because like we already had like the Phil Lamb cast already like kind of filled out
Hmm.
and I had brought up the idea of bringing in Filipino actors to do the
Hmm.
voice acting just so
Hmm.
that we could get a little bit more help from the mainstream industry to like kind of
Hmm.
promote this project because
Hmm.
it is like really like a love letter from all of us. We're not fully produced yet and everything.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that we got people that can help bring in eyeballs, right? And so
Sure.
it was kind of like interesting because not a lot of actors in the Philippines do voice acting. Like there hasn't been a lot of animations in the Philippines so therefore, a lot of actors haven't had the opportunity to do voice acting. And
Hmm.
so I had to go through all these different characters and all these different actors and kind of listen to the quality of their voice
Yeah.
and like match it with the different characters. And it
Hmm.
was a challenge, but it was a fun
Hmm.
challenge.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
learned that I'm like very I don't know, like visual that I
Yeah.
mean, I knew this about myself, but I learned it even more doing this project. Like
Yep.
as soon as I read the script, like I had more or less an idea of like when I read Lola, I was thinking Mom Charo right away. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
she just
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
she was
Hmm.
perfect for the role in my mind. And same with Sessa. Like I
Hmm.
always wanted it to be Zia. I thought she had like
Hmm.
because I've seen like videos of her
So
on TikTok and everything, and she's the cutest little voice. And I think not it's actually not little. Like she has a lot of like energy and like
Yeah.
aggression to her voice too, which is
Yep.
really
Yep.
adorable.
Yep.
But yeah, like kind of like I learned a lot about producing and I learned a lot about like casting. Casting is really fun. That
Yeah.
I think like that's a new passion of mine.
Yeah.
'Cause, like now
yeah.
I notice
Yeah.
after doing this process, like I kind
Yeah.
of pay attention to casting and everything that I watch now. So
How
um
how did you transition from, obviously the majority of your career you've had great success as being an actress. How did you transition into like a producer role, creative role? What was that like for you?
um I guess it kind of happened very naturally because
Mm,
um after I guess after the pandemic was when I kind of started getting into producing, and at the time, the industry was kind of down,
mm,
both in the Philippines and in Hollywood. Like we were all just starting to kind of get back on our feet from the pandemic and everything. And so I wasn't as busy with like all the live action stuff. And then why did I just blank and forget where I was
No, no,
leading
no,
to?
no. You know what I was thinking about? Just like it's a wonderful thing to think about you going from an actress
Yeah.
to starting to be that producer role, and
Oh
that
yeah,
takes a
okay, that's
lot,
what you
right? You're casting,
mean.
you're reaching out to people. How did that happen for you? Did it happen naturally?
Yeah, it happened very naturally because, yeah, as I said, I was like not as busy with the live action stuff. And then I started like coming to the States more because I was like trying to pursue a career over here. And so naturally, I was just meeting a lot of people and a lot of Filipino Americans in the industry. And a lot of the Filipino Americans in the industry are like people that are behind the scenes, like
Yeah,
people that write, like Bernard, and people that
yeah, yeah,
direct and
yeah.
produce and animate. And so, um, I just had like all these friends that like were able to do all these different really cool things in a production. And so
Mm,
um I started getting kind of like inspired by that too to like kind of because I've always really been into storytelling. I just didn't know that like I didn't know what it meant to produce and I didn't know what it took to produce. And so being here in LA and being exposed to everyone who did have the know-how, did have the experience and were like sharing that all of that with me, it encouraged me to start my own production company. And then I kind of started it with this guy named Sean DeLake, who is Korean American. And it all started because he was inspired by my kind of like I want to say life story, but it's more like career story. But
yeah, you're good.
it's a really interesting concept. And this eventually introduced me to Bernard. And then Bernard and I started working together. So Bernard and I kind of we run Funny Face Films.
And the way that you tell the story is Bernard and I were developing this Sunchaser idea, but he didn't tell you about it for like a year.
Yeah, no. This guy was like working on really cool stuff and not telling me.
Hey, that wasn't on purpose. I didn't want to like, I'm like, hey, I started working here. Liza, can you do this? I was like, I don't want to. I wanted it to be like a good, like, obviously, like we're lucky to have you. I mean, one to do not one but two voices on the show, but uh, like that's all we expected. Like and then when I was like, hey, do you think you could help me cast this or figure all these problems that I'm having? And
Yeah.
then you just jumped on and you went like full like 100%, and I was just like, whoa, like you're a producer. Like you, like when you go 100%, it's like all these things happen. And just like thank you for being part of this. And it made me and Bobby's like like these things that we're trying to figure out, we just it's like, oh, Liza figured that out, and it's like, oh, okay, like let's move to the next thing. So yeah, just super blessed. But I wasn't trying to keep it a secret. I was trying to be professional, trying to be a good person.
No,
um,
but
I mean, I
but
think
it's
there's
really
a there. I mean, I think there's a lot of it too. Like hope, like with connections for sure. But like when we put out that like Queen Marisol like reel,
mhm.
people were like, "Yo, she like leveled up." like
Yeah, no, I saw some of those comments. It was really nice to hear that from them because I did another animated thing years back and it was like 50-50. I think some people liked the performance, some people didn't, and I totally understand both sides of the coin. But it's nice to see that there's like a lot of compliments this time around, and it's kind of cool that like Queen Marisol, like she kind of happened spontaneously. Like I was only supposed to come in for Angie, right?
Angie. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then
We were like,
Bernard was
"Can you also do this?"
yeah, he was like, "Can you try doing a different voice?" And I was like, "Sure, what do you want me to try?" And then that was the first voice I tried and he was like, "Okay, let's do that." Bernard was my
it was
director.
like it was like Hope, can you sound more serpenty? And then it was like you just kept doing it more and more and more. And I was like, whoa, can you
Mhm,
just do that? We were
mhm.
who was in the room? It was me, Thomas Reyes, like the sound engineer, and we were just dying. We were like
Yeah,
dying in the room. We're like, what? So
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
cool.
so we're just I can't keep saying we're lucky to have you, but we're lucky to have you as an actress and a producer, and it's just awesome. Just so super happy. As you know, like we only have one episode, 11 minutes. There's all these people commenting on the YouTube right now that like where like hopefully the next one comes.
Okay.
Um uh it like if we keep going, Liza, are you coming with us? Are you gonna do like if we get to do hundreds of episodes, are you gonna keep hanging out with me and Bobby?
I'm gonna go to all. How many millions of islands are there? Is it just a million? 1 million? I'm gonna go to all.
Seven
Yeah, we
million.
we call it the Million Islands, but we can always add two
Yeah.
mil,
Million
three
islands,
mil,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to every island, to the
Yes,
millions of islands with you guys.
yes, that's awesome. Look at Bobby. Bobby's about to cry because he.
No, I was just kind of thinking about the Marisol, but yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Um.
Amazing. Hope. Yeah. Thanks so much. And
Thank
Yeah.
we owe you everything. And
thank
um,
you.
when people say that like, oh, she leveled up the voice acting talent, I'm like, hell yeah, she did. I mean, she's like kind of bringing down the house with this like voice acting. And I remember listening in the records, and you were like, I've never done this voice before. And
hmm
it's like that's so funny. You're just kind of
Yeah.
like on the cuff, right? Off the cuff, or what was that like? You're just like,
Like I've never really had to play around much with my voice before, especially
mm,
for live action. Sometimes I have to modulate a bit and make my voice sound a little deeper.
mm,
Like for Tresse, I had to do that.
mm.
Or like sometimes I have to make my voice sound a little bit younger for like auditions when I do like younger characters. But I've never had to play like a cartoonish type
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
voice.
yeah. That's a good way
And
to put it. Yeah,
yeah, so that was fun.
yeah,
Um and like Bernard was just like, as long as you can imagine yourself doing this for a whole season. And I was like, oh
yeah,
yeah, for sure. Like I can,
yeah,
yeah, it's very easy. Like I feel like the placement is in a good spot where I won't tire out my voice too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For sure, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The last one you had at the episode one was phenomenal, and yeah, it was just kind of like I remember it at the end of the record. Like I've never done that voice before, but you strained everything, and
Mhm.
then you did one last thing of like ha 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 ha, ha. And you remember that one, eh?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I was like, we have to highlight that. We have to
Yeah.
highlight that. Yeah. And so it
Oh,
is
that's cool.
highlighted. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bobby. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know why, but I imagined her as someone who always has to have the last laugh, like literally. And so even though she like was already laughing,
she's like,
she
I
like
need to
had
have
to
the
put like
last
a
sigh.
period on it, like an exclamation point.
The,
Dude.
that exclamation point is how we ended the pilot.
Yep.
And like, you guys we need to do this. Yeah.
It's so good.
That's so cool.
And
Yeah.
I gotta mention this, Bobby. Like obviously Queen Marisol, like for us three, I think one of our favorite characters. She existed as an idea. She wasn't even in the pilot script. And then when Bobby sent me the first like animatic, like the pre-animation, like the storyboards, he storyboarded this Queen Marisol thing, and I was like, oh shoot, like because we're obviously like an indie production, we don't have a lot of money, so we were trying to limit how much we could do. But Bobby added this thing. He's like, oh man, I'd really love it if we went out with Queen Marisol because it kind of it gives us a little clue into what's going to happen next. So that wasn't even in the script, and then so Bobby just kind of did a version of it. And then when I saw it, I was like, "Oh man, we're allowed to do this!" And then we started going ham on that character, and we're like, "Dude!" Like once we kind of figured out we wanted her to play it in this way, that's when Bobby was like, "Do you think like Liza would want to do this?" And I was like, "Man, it would be awesome if she did it." Like, so that's so like all credit to Bobby. Like he went against the grain in the like against the budget guys,
Yeah.
and was like you know what, we're just gonna add this 1 minute thing. Um,
It's not me. It's like I will say that like everyone that we screened the pilot to resonated with Queen Marisol, and then even Liza, like the animator who animated you,
Hmm.
like saying those lines, she's like, I love her. I love her so much. And it's like that is
Oh.
tapping into a specific part of your personality. But we had one, Liza, we had one animator do all of the Queen Marisol stuff at the end because she just stuck to her so much. And I'm
Hmm.
like, her name is Clarice. And
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm not going to take that away from her. Let's
Hmm.
just keep her going on this whole
Yeah.
bit. And she's like, every time I talk to her, she's like, I love her so much. And it's like,
Oh, that
yeah,
is so
man, I love
yeah,
Claris.
yeah,
yeah,
Clarice,
I love her
Clarice, yes,
too. Queen
yes.
Marisol looks fire. Like she looks so good. She looks so cool.
Man, you know, it'd be dope if there was, you know, obviously we want a season one, more episodes. It'd be dope if during Halloween we just start seeing Queen Marisol's around. Like that would be so cool, dude. In that dress. Oh,
Because she's so popular, we want to put her more into the story. We have a lot of kind of like what her background is because she's going to be a standout character, I
Hmm.
think. What do you think? Like, do you think the same thing? Like Hope? Like, she's so ridiculous. It's like
Yeah.
old school Disney villain that.
Yeah. You know what? She kind of, I don't know why, like this comes to mind when I think of Queen Marisol, but she reminds me of Swiper the Fox from Dora the Explorer. Like the villain you love to hate
that's
Well,
awesome.
no
or
one
hate
knows
to
that
love.
reference, song.
That's awesome.
Do they not?
Wait,
I think
so
people know
okay,
it.
Swiper, no
okay.
swiping. That
Yeah,
reference?
I'll look it
Do
up.
they
I'll look it
not?
up. Okay, yeah, maybe they
that's
do.
so
Maybe they
cool.
do.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Am I like, does that mean I'm old for them not knowing the reference?
yeah, I'm like double ears, but like I think maybe they do. Maybe they know.
We're all
Maybe
young
they
at
know.
heart. I hope all of us. We're all young at heart. That's why
Yeah,
we're making cartoons for the world.
yeah, yeah.
Hope, before I know we've taken so much of your time.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
one
yeah.
more thing
Totally
I'd
go.
love to ask you and just close.
Mhm.
Obviously this is like a fun thing. It's a big comedy. It's a big action adventure. But like it all comes down to like when we talked about you possibly doing this, you really wanted a focus in your company and with yourself on making content for kids, specifically Filipino kids. Can you talk about that a little bit? I'd love it for people to learn this about you because it's really inspiring to me, and it made me know that like not only are you the right actress producer, but also the right person to like work with on Sunchaser.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Yeah, well, I've always been very passionate about working in like the advocacy space for like children's rights and women's rights, but
Mm,
specifically for children's rights, because just kind of like my upbringing and my background and everything. And so when I got into producing, I kind of just like I analyzed the Philippine market, the entertainment industry, and kind of like tried to figure out what I thought was kind of missing. And what I noticed is that there's a huge gap in the market for children's like focused content.
mm,
And which is crazy because the Philippines has like one of the youngest demographics, I think, in the world. Like the birth rate has been great for so many years, and so we have so many young people, which is a great thing. And entertainment is a great way to like educate and inform people about a lot of things. And so when I started with advocacy first, and then I started producing, and I've always been about trying to like kind of find the perfect ways to combine or like utilize all these three things that I kind of dabble in, and
yeah.
find like a project that I can make all of these things work. And so I realized that's children's content because I want to be able to advocate for children's rights, and I want to educate, and I want to create content that is like morally uplifting and educational and culturally specific. And
Mm,
so
mm,
um yeah, when I started producing,
mm,
I was like, I want to make sure that we do more stuff for the Filipino children,
mhm,
both in the Philippines and the diaspora, because I want to make sure that Filipino children grow up specifically with content that is specific to their culture, so that culture doesn't die.
mm,
That's
mm.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, when I learned that about you, I was just like, man, it's like
Perfect.
it's a
Yeah.
true blessing and it's perfect. And yeah, Liza, thank you for taking the
Yep.
time.
Thank you for taking the
Um,
time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope
And
more people watch more people watch the pilot. Hopefully, we get blessed on our Kickstarter. Um, get more episodes while we're trying to find a home for it. And yeah, just thank you, Bobby. Any closing
Sure.
thoughts for Eliza?
I would say thank you so much, guys, for watching this pilot, supporting us this whole way. It's Filipino made by Filipinos, and that's our big thing. We want to not only make this show successful. I would love to elongate and permeate like a Filipino, workforce here, in animation. That I would love to see that. I would love to employ our brothers and sisters to create more adventures for years to come. So
I'm on the same boat.
I love
I
it. We're
Sun
on the
chasing.
Sunchaser boat.
on the Sun Chaser
And
boat.
with
So
that, let's
with
wrap.
that said, let's go, let's go,
Woo!
oh, burn
Thank
it.
you, Liza. Happy premiere
Yeah.
night,
Congratulations,
guys.
guys.
Yeah, have a great night, guys. Thank you guys so
Thank
much, and
you.
we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
All right,
Bye.
take care.
Bye.
Take care.